Howdy, Beefalo Bart here, and welcome. Alright, so this is State of the Game for 6/6/2018. Sorry, I am posting in Discord to let everybody know that I am close to being on time for my Wednesday streaming. So, don't like the nag screen that whenever you try to do an ad, everybody, it asks you, are you sure you want to do that? Well, I wouldn't do it if I wasn't trying to. So, anyway, what I'm doing is I have decided that since, the good, the bad, the ugly, having a team of people together to try to perform creating a game is pretty much difficult to do because not everybody shares the same vision, and you tend to get a group together, and what happens is when people join the team, they're full of piss and vinegar and happy, and they're ready to jump in there and start doing things. And yeah, within a matter of a week to 2 weeks, they just stop doing anything at all. So you get used to it, and people come and go on these teams. So I've learned that I just can't rely on anybody. So I'm not going to rely on anybody. I'm just going to start making things and getting things ready on my own and get something ready to go for release. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be finalizing the sci-fi game and a couple different formats, a couple different modes. And what I'm going to be doing is right now I'm setting up the capture the flag mode, and then I'll start doing a different mode, and I'll start putting one mode together at a time. And what I'm going to probably end up doing is releasing something for this on Game Jolt, which I know I originally had planned on releasing on Steam, but I think for now Game Jolt should be a good enough outlet for where I can actually release to, because I can put down a version and do it, and then as I need to I can upgrade it, or I can just release newer versions. The Steam release will still happen. It's just that for now, I think that will probably be a good place to release on. So what I'm doing for right now is I'm putting in some nav mesh, or some blocking volumes, because this is part of a jetpack system. You don't want people to be able to fly completely out of the arena. And as you can see, there's no terrain underneath here, so you have to be able to block people in. So by putting in a blocking volume, I can keep them inside the arena, because I know how things go, and if somebody's capable of getting outside the map, they're gonna, and then they're gonna complain, oh, I fell out of the map. Well, because you're dumb. But oh well. So by putting in blocking volumes, you can kind of prevent your fan base from falling out. So just as simple as dropping in something like that and scaling it to match the parameters of where you want to block people. So what I want to do is set it to where it will go up to the one that I've already placed, so I can actually create a walled-in system to really keep people in. They don't have to be perfect, they don't have to be precise. They just need to create that invisible wall to keep people in. So that's what I'm doing, as I'm putting that together. And as soon as I get these put in, I'm sure somebody's going to want to jump on that tower, but I'm going to go ahead and block that one out as well. And this is not the final map. This is just going to be a temporary map until I actually can get enough of the other content done to where I need to worry about doing a map. And honestly, I think, player-wise, they're going to want the content to be better first before caring about having a new map. So I think to me that's probably the most important thing, is having a good map, or having good content first, and then I'll worry about having a series of good maps, because I can easily set up a map rotation or things of that nature to let people select which map they want, or just do a map rotation to where, okay, you're playing this map, as soon as this map's over with, you go to the next one. That's easy enough to do. So, as I'm doing this, would like if anybody has any questions to just jump right in. I know I don't have a huge viewer base right now, but I also plan on continuing to try and maintain consistent stream times, and Wednesdays have always been 9 p.m. so I want to stay consistent with that 9 p.m. stream time. But also the fact that I would like to stream at different times throughout the week as well. And I know that trying to keep up with a lot of people and trying to make sure that everybody is able to see, I'm not going to be able to make it happen for everybody, but I will try to vary the times a little bit. You know, over the next few days I'm going to be out quite a bit because for those who have seen, I'm actually working on restoring a 1960 Jeep, and to be able to afford to buy the parts and stuff like that, what I'm doing is I am trading labor for parts. So when I don't have the money that I need to buy stuff, then I can just trade labor and services, because I can weld. I've got a welder, and I can pack up my tools and stuff and go over and actually work on somebody else's Jeep. Lets me have a little bit of flexibility in being able to buy parts. I do have a new starter coming. That was a rather expensive thing, and I wanted to get that one taken care of first, because now, I mean, I've got new plugs, I've got some other new parts here and there coming, but I've also got new sheet metal. I'll be picking up the sheet metal this week so I can finish doing the patchwork on the body and on the floor, so that'll be nice. And you know, having the new starter, yeah, that was a big chunk, so I'll be able to probably, if everything goes okay, I'm going to have to reroute fuel lines and electrical stuff just to make sure that it's going to be clean and serviceable, but I may be able to crank it up within a week. Yes, I bought a Jeep that I didn't hear run, but you know, when you're talking about a vintage vehicle like that, then you gotta get what you can get and pick your battles. So the first mode that I would like to put out on the and like I said, I'm going to put it on Game Jolt. The first one that I'm going to do is going to be probably this one right here, the sci-fi, and there'll be capture the flag, team deathmatch, and I may just do like a regular deathmatch type or a battle royale type as well, just so that there's different modes for people to be able to play and vary the fun just a little bit, because not everybody wants to play capture the flag, not everybody wants to play team deathmatch. So by having multiple modes, then be able to cater to more people at the same time. So like I said, all I'm doing with this right here, this is blocking volumes, and I'm just setting these up so I can keep people inside the map, because you know how things go. If you give somebody the ability to fall out of a map, they're going to. So, and I have one particular friend that I know that as soon as he sees a game, he and I both are the same. We immediately start pushing the bounds. We want to know that, okay, you know, I can go here, but I can't go here. But if I do this, I can get outside the arena. It's not like that we're trying to cheat or anything, but we can actually just sit there and mess around with it until we find a way of getting out of the arena or whatever. And I know him. If there's a way to get out, he'll find it and fall through it and break the game. So, the interface is going to change quite a bit, and I'll probably change the characters around a bit more too. But as you can see, you can still get back over here on this building, but I put that block right there, and yep, cannot get out, so that's good. And we'll come over here and try to walk up on this side and just to look and see. Now the characters, the models change based on the character class, and I'm going to be adding more weapons in just to kind of smooth things out and get a little bit nicer transition. So let's try to fly above, and we can't because we don't have enough fuel, so that's good. So what I'll do is I'll get back on top of one of these buildings and bump my head on the height. Alright, so get my energy back up, and we'll jetpack up one more time. Yep. So you're not able to fly out of the arena, so that's a good thing. But you can still get up to these different height spots and be able to do some sniping. Now there are some bugs that I've found with changing over on this. I'm still trying to work on the grenade range because it's a little bit too far. And honestly, I added in some gravity to kind of affect it a little bit, but you can throw it across the entire map. So I'm gonna have to set a time to live or something on the grenades just to prevent them from being able to be thrown across the map like that. Whether it's increasing the gravity quite a bit or whatever else, I'll have to tweak it around a little bit. And there's also a problem with when I change over to a different class. Occasionally, what will happen is the character will actually glitch out, and you start seeing through his waist, and it just looks like crap. And I don't know if that's a problem with the characters or whatever else, but it's just totally unacceptable. You know, I've been trying to get with the creator of the jetpack template, but he is not responding, so can't get with him to figure it out. Of course, I'm on the blue team, this is the red side, so I can't use their system. So what I'll probably end up doing is ripping this whole system apart and changing the weapon system. Instead of running the class system the way it was, then we'll have to come up with a different method for changing weapons. I did add a sprint system in to where now you're running at a set speed, you hit that shift key to sprint. Let's see if I can recreate the problem here. Come over here, hit 1 and E. Not a fan of having to click two different things when you go in there to change your class. So we're going to have to either look into changing that. We can see now I change over to my repair gun, and it totally screws up the view and everything else. So usually whenever this problem happens, what I've noticed is it's a collision issue. And I've tried turning off the collision on the gun itself. If I change back, it's good. But as soon as I change over to this gun, and it's only whenever I actually change my class. So I don't know what's causing that. So I'm either going to completely revamp it and set up to where instead of having this repair tool, we'll try setting up a pistol instead and creating a new custom weapon, because that's just totally unacceptable. And if I come over here and change to the medium class, right now I've got both of them set up to do the same thing. You see, whenever I change over to it, it's royally screwed. Change over to the heavy class. Everything's working just fine, because he doesn't have the repair tool. It's only when I select the repair tool is when it starts really getting screwy. And I may change this model because I don't like the idea of that piece hanging down. Even though you're not running into it, there's no collision on it, still it's kind of a kind of deal. So you see the light has a different model from the medium and the heavy. So, but what I'll end up doing is I'll change the weapons loadouts, and I will change the repair tool to only work with one class. As you can see, we have a flag. So we come over here, and this particular version of it did not have the time limit on it. So what I'll be doing I've got a different version of this as well. What I'll probably end up doing is, and for right now I've got the flag hidden back here, is I'm probably going to end up redoing a lot of this, because there's just a lot of bugs in this this particular version of the jetpack template whenever you start changing things over. So that's what I'll do, is I'll experiment with some other versions and see what I can come up with, because John and I work together side by side on testing out some of the other versions, and the other versions seem to work pretty good. See, there's no sound whenever you actually capture the flag. There's no sprint limit. You can sprint for days and not have to worry about it, as long as you want to hold down the shift key. So what I'll probably end up doing is creating a stamina system, so that just like the energy for your jetpack, it will run out. So I don't want to have too many freaking health bars. So what I may do is, there are some Android class characters. I may change them over to that. You could actually be the Android characters. One thing I didn't do so far was something I did do for the Try Before You Buy version that I set up for Cindy Studios to hopefully create a nice little arrangement with them. And I'll go ahead and get out of this one, and I will just do a quick save all, because I want to make sure I save the blocking volumes that I created. And I'll keep tonight's video brief, but the Try Before You Buy version is just that. This is what you get. You get the main menu. You can either go into single player, or you can choose to go into multiplayer. Click on host. I will upload this version here shortly and have this available and linked from my Discord channel. So we've got some people just walking around. When you spawn in, you randomly are assigned any one of a handful of characters and skins for that character. Same thing with the other characters out here. And you can walk inside buildings, fix the collisions on the buildings. I did not add it in the jetpack stuff or the hover bikes, but I did add some music. So when you walk into the strip club, you actually have some robot girls dancing for you, and set up, to where you walk away. You don't hear it when you're outside. You are carrying a gun, but it is just a visual thing. So if I were to actually go back to the main menu and go back into it again, you can see I'm a different character. So each time you go in, you're going to get a random character and a random skin for that character. And what I could have done is also added some movement, add somebody inside the car maybe, or add the hover bikes and have the hover bike just kind of cruising around town. But the way this particular map is set up, there's not a whole lot of clear room on the roads using their demonstration map, so I just left it the way it is. So everything should be free and clear to walk through. Shouldn't have any obstructions getting inside the buildings that are actually open. But what I wanted to do was just create a Try Before You Buy, so that you can check this asset pack out before spending your hard-earned money on it. This particular asset pack is $50. Worth it. It's great. Don't get me wrong. But by having this, you can actually jump in here and walk around, check out the individual assets and see what they look like. And, all right, cool. I mean, you get these vehicles, and usually with the vehicles from Cindy Studios that have wheels, Usually they are rigged so you can actually make them work. I've never tried rigging or animating a 6-wheel vehicle. I would assume it's very much similar to doing a 4-wheeled vehicle. The jetpack stuff, we do have the availability of adding in the hover bike. I just haven't done it yet. It works, so let's actually close this back up, and I'll go back into this demo. The sci-fi game that I'm working on is just the sci-fi shooter. I don't actually have a name for it yet. I don't know if I want to leave it with a CoG name on there, or just try to give it something else. But I may go ahead and just call it like the CoG sci-fi, and actually let that be the sci-fi game mode. And one thing I want to do really quickly is go to project settings, because it keeps coming up to the default map. So what I want to do is just go to maps and modes, and I want to make sure that demonstration map loads on startup and the game default map is the main menu. So just want to make sure that was the thing. Everything else should be good. We'll set up packaging so that list of maps to include any packaging build. It's only including that one map, which to me is wrong, because you need to have 2 maps. You need to have the when you click on it to load it up, you go to the location of the project, and this one is Skiffy or Sci-Fi. So you just want to navigate to where your Unreal project is being stored, and there, and then the location of the map itself. So the first one we want is going to be, which we'll go ahead and set up this one right here, the demonstration map. I usually rename that one, I just haven't yet. And then the next one, see, it's not very smart, it just keeps going back to whatever the location of the original one was. We don't want that. Real projects, sci-fi content, and the main menu map for now is actually located in the Jetpack TPS. There we go. Main menu. Yep, that's it. So now it'll save both of those, and whenever I go to actually package it, it'll actually package that way. And I always package for development. Not really worried about a staging directory. So once you change something in here, it's automatically changed. You don't have to find and set a button. I am only developing for Windows. That's all I care about. So everything else is turned off. Target hardware, desktop, maximum quality. That's good. That's pretty much everything I really need to set. You know, I can go back in here and change that, and we'll call this the CoG Sci-Fi, and the company name is Beefalo Gaming. Support contact Beefalo Gaming Discord. Lovely. So that's all good to go. So now when I do an actual packaging build, it'll actually go into that. So now let's go into the demonstration map. And what I was saying about the hover bike is I can come in here to Jetpack TPS Ultimate, go into gameplay, stations, and BP Vehicle Station Master. And I'm just going to drag one of them in. And I'm going to go to details and change the default team over to blue team. So now whenever I hit play, I come over here, select blue team, and now when I walk over here to this system, hit E, spawns one in, and now I can jump on it and ride. Reason why I haven't got it in here in the map is, like I said, there's just so much debris on the roadway that you wouldn't be able to use the damn thing anyway. You're going to keep running into things. And it does have a reverse gear, but still it's kind of annoying when you're trying to go from point A to point B. and then you just run into so much stuff that's like, totally not worth it. So we go for a bigger map, then I'll do that. Of course, whenever you get off of it, it'll stay there for a few moments, and then it will despawn. Well, you can see that hover bike is the same as the one that's right over here. So no, you can't just walk over here to this one, hop on it, and go. They actually have to be spawned from the other place. And I haven't set up crouching yet, so you can't crouch to get behind the counter. So if you're hiding out in there to get away from somebody, there is a back door. So someone can come in here and get behind the bar and raise a little hell. Alright, so collision on this building is a little bit weird on the stairs part there. So that's something we're going to have to resolve, is anything like this, and this is part of testing, is if there is a spot where someone can potentially fall out the damn map, they're gonna. So we need to put a blocking volume inside here to prevent someone from falling out. Because if I can do it, somebody else can. So we're going back to volumes, go to blocking volume, drag it in here, and like what we're going to need to do is just set it up to where it's just a flat space for now. Because we just wanted to keep them from falling out of the world. Like I said, these are so simple to put in, and they're a good stopgap measure. So if you can prevent somebody from actually walking in here, then that will be good. I mean, you can make it as big or small as you want just to keep this area blocked. So someone can just come over here, hit their jetpack, fly in on top of it, and get below it. And this spot right here you can't get to because it's actually inside of a building. But if you were to come in this way, may or may not be able to. So let's actually try that one, see if there's a way to sneak through on that side. So we're going to start over here anyway, because this is our starting point for our teams. So this is a spot we just fell through, so I put the block there, can no longer fall through. So let's see if we can force our way through on the other side. And alright, it looks like we can, but we can't, so that's good. That'll keep you from being able to fall out there. So that's all part of doing some final testing, making sure that there's no places where a player could fall through the map or fly out of the map or what have you. So yeah, corners, yeah, see, I was able to just fly out of this corner right here, and there we go. I just found a way out. I'm actually standing on top of the collision of the blocking volume, so there's actually a gap there. So I haven't put these in a folder yet because I needed to be able to see, and all I'm going to do is just move this one over a little bit, and I'm going to make it a little bit wider. Now does that overlap? Yeah, it does. And let's go ahead and move it up a little bit, so that should, in theory, fix that problem. So I like them overlapping like that, is if you can get them to overlap, then it usually will resolve the issue. Alright, see if I bring it down like that, that should be fine. That should block people from getting out now. Bring it down just a hair more, just to be on the safe side. So So that's one thing you're going to have to do whenever you're setting up your maps is make sure you take the time to go ahead and try to break things. Alright, so can't get behind it there, and I hit the ceiling, and I can't fall through there. Alright, so I have no energy, so let me let my energy build back up. And I'll check this corner. Alright, so yep, I am hitting that wall right there, and yep. So, what I'll probably end up doing is I will work on this some more this evening, and I will come up with a version that I will put up on and link from my Discord so that I can get some in-house testing. So I'll need some quick testers just to verify what's actually in here. But the one thing I need to fix first is I need to fix either the repair gun, or I got to remove it until it's actually fixed. And I'm probably going to go ahead and just set up another pistol as another option to fill in that location. So once I figure that out and get that fixed or removed and blocked, I will set up a version. I will do an open call for people to do some beta testing for me, and then within a week I think I'll go ahead and have it set up to where I can put it on Game Jolt, and yeah, we'll have a version that will be an actual released version of the game. It won't be the full game, it'll just be, you know, the sci-fi version. And it won't be the complete sci-fi version, because the final version will actually be a Steam game. Because my multiplayer system's all set up and evolve around Steam, that's just the way, you know, that's the way I work. Is what I want to do is set it up to work on Steam. But I will create some more stuff. I will make sure that in the final version all the cars work, whether they're parked here or if they're on the map, they work. I will move over the dancing girlies to bring them in here, and the music and that kind of stuff. But like I said, I'll polish this a little bit more. I might even just take this original map right here and expand it out a little bit, double the size of it, so that there's more to do. But I think a capture the flag map should be kind of small. Alright, so we will drop this video for now, and normally I want to try to make these state of the games between 30 minutes and an hour based on the amount of people that show up, but I want to start keeping the Wednesday night videos set to about 30 minutes for the primary state of the game, and then other videos where I'm teaching or whatever else, they can last as long as they last. But I just wanted to make sure that I got everybody the chance to check this out, see the state of where I am with setting this up. And I've only been working on this particular map and this particular mode setup for about an hour or so, but this one will be polished enough to where there will be a demo version that I want to test for about 3 or 4 days and get some outside testers to come in and play, and then after that I'll pull it back offline and I'll have it ready to actually be published online. And I think with this one I'll stick with capture the flag mode, and I may update it to bring in team deathmatch as well. So we will see. We'll look into some other different modes, but for that we'll see. Like I said, I will get the capture the flag mode done and ready for testing. I'll make an announcement on Discord, say okay, it's ready for testing, call out for some beta testers, test it for about 3 days, pull it from online, and then we'll go ahead and put it on Game Jolt. Alright, I want to thank everybody for stopping in and checking out the video, and we'll see you next time.